weapon that is.
Whoa, hello, goodbye. Score! In the back of the net. And shoots, score!
Of Serie A action. We'll bring you so much of it here on the Zone.
Magnificent. That is tremendous.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Going deep for it all. Devontae Smith. He has got it. Touchdown.
Your Eagles are world champions again.
The Zone is the home of boxing.
Really spurs you on, gets you going.
Let's make history. Pure power. There's no way back from this, surely.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
This is the moment the world has been waiting for. The judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the boxing world is ready.
The fight starts now.
Let's go.
How do you like it? On the show.
So aggressive, so focused.
It all comes down to this. With a corner knockdown. Still the undisputed champion of the world.
Fight Night, only on the Zone.
In boxing's rich, illustrious history, the mark of a fighter is to become a champion, to follow in the footsteps of the sport's greats and to create a legacy. Succession is the name of the game on Night of the Champions. The wonderful AMB Arena is the setting for Ring 4 Night of the Champions. We have got 9 fights for you in total, starting with 4 which are free to air, then culminating in 4 bouts with multiple world titles on the line. And this right here is the ring walk that all of those fighters will make, all of them looking to claim a sought-after prize. And my own sought-after prize is waiting up here on stage. Nope, not Sergio, it's the former heavyweight title contender turned trainer Malik Scott, my husband, good to see you. And of course, former world champ, the Latin snake, Sergio Mora. You get to third wheel. Isn't that nice?
Everything is great. I love this. Every show here in Saudi has a theme. Today, it was the Times Square theme. We have the Day of Reckoning, the Cowboy theme. We have the Knockout Chaos. I love it. These Saudi shows are amazing. And we have the quality of the card as well, Sergio. Since His Excellency came into the sport, we've seen so many great fight cards. How do you like this one? How does it rival the others? Top to bottom, I think this is one of the best cards they put together. 50-50 fights. We know who the favorite is, but they have a chance of losing. These are great cards. Malik, what do you love about big nights of boxing like this?
Kate, when I was a 12-year-old kid in Philadelphia, there was a promoter named Russell Peltz. He used to throw big fights at the Blue Horizon. All of us used to look forward. We used to have these exciting feelings. As I got older, all of us was looking forward to the Showtime Big Don King cards. But the difference between those days and these times is the matchmaking. All of these fights are 50-50. Even your favorite fighter may be the A or B side, he have a chance at losing tonight. And that's what boxing is about. And that feeling of excitement that I had when I was a 12, 13-year-old kid is back.
Yes. All right, we've got a great night of boxing for you ahead. Remember that the only way to see the whole event is to buy it at DAZN.com/boxing. In the meantime, the first portion of our undercard is free to air, and it features these 4 fights for you. We open the show with Juan Guerito versus Seewanyana. Saudi lightweight Sultan Alhomammed makes his Riyadh debut tonight against Umesh Chavan. Undefeated Mexican Julio Porras Ruiz takes on Pius Mpenda. And mighty Mohammed Alakel, he's back. He returns to the kingdom to face Jiaming Lee. Night of the Champions then gets real serious with a clash of middleweight contenders Vito Milnicki Jr. and Samuel Nmoma before the World Championship bouts then begin. They see Abdullah Mason take on Sam Noakes for the vacant WBO World Lightweight strap. There's a super flyweight unification battle. Looks very tasty as Jesse Bam Rodriguez faces Fernando Puma Martinez. Devin Haney challenges Brian Norman Jr. for the WBO World Welterweight crown, and then David Benavidez defends his WBC and WBA World Light Heavyweight titles against Anthony Yarde. It is a packed night of action, everybody, so let's get straight into it. Sergio is already making his way ringside to join the other members of our commentary team who are already over there. So let's say a very good evening to senior ring insider Mike Coppinger and Todd Grisham. Hello, gents.
Hey, how you doing up there? We've got the steady cam. Get out of my shot. Let me wave a little bit. There we are. All right. This is Ben, our floor manager, getting in the way. We're ready to rock and roll as we jump into our tail of the tape for our first fight of the night. We got 9 to get to, and no, this is not incorrect information. El Guerito de Tepito is 16 years old and is about to make his professional debut against Seewanyana, who's 25 years old and holds a 1-1-1 professional record, scheduled for 4 rounds in the bantamweight division. Let's go into the ring. And Thomas Triber.
Live worldwide on DAZN. Let's first welcome to the ring from Uganda, Barker Mando Seewanyana. And now let's welcome to the ring from Mexico, Juan El Guerito de Tepito.
El Guerito de Tepito. Sergio, translation, please.
El Guerito de Tepito, the blonde kid from the city of Tepito.
And he's got the SpongeBob outfit on. And he's only 16 years old, Sergio. In the United States, you can't legally be a professional fighter until you're 18, so he's getting a 2-year head start.
It's a lot different in Mexico, and a lot of fighters usually go down there. Devin Haney was one of the fighters that went down there. Brian Norman Jr., who we're going to see later. They go down there, Mexicali, TJ. They get to fight older fighters and make their career down there earlier.
Yeah, then of course, Sergio, another Mexican, the great Canelo Alvarez, he made his pro debut at 15 years old. So in the United States, usually you get a special exemption if you're a really good amateur and turn pro at 17. But like Todd said, it's usually 18 years old.
Hey, in Thailand, Muay Thai, I see 7-year-olds fighting. So it depends on what part of the world you're in as to what's legal to start beating people up. According to the fan zone on DAZN, you believe Juan El Guerito de Tepito will win by an 88% to 12% margin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ring for Night of the Champions from A&B Arena in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We get things started with 4 rounds scheduled in the bantamweight division. It is brought to you by Riyadh Season, Sella, Ring Magazine, Frank Warren for Queensberry, and Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing. Along with their premium partners, Saudi Tourism Authority, STC, Saudi National Bank, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, and Saudia. Their strategic partners, Meyer United, Arroyo Cruises, Sadia, Lucid Motors, SHG, and Azure. Their main partners, Pepsi and Arena Fitness Innovation, and their commercial partner, Prime. The 3 judges assigned will be Jerry Martinez of Puerto Rico, Manuel Oliver Palomo of Spain, and Dan Rex Taptason of Philippines. Our referee in charge will be Miguel Angel Canul of Mexico. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white trunks and weighed in officially at 115.3 pounds. Coming to us from Bwaise, Uganda, he brings a professional record of 1 win, 1 defeat, and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Barker Mando Seewanyana. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing yellow with white and weighed in officially at 116.9 pounds. He had a stellar amateur career, and now at the age of 16, he makes his professional boxing debut. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mexico City, Tepito, Mexico, here is Juan El Guerito de Tepito.
Okay, guys, remember what I told you in the rooms. Recuerda lo que platicamos en los vestidores. Obey at all moments my commands. Obedece mis instrucciones en todo momento. Choquen los guantes, suelta los dos.
Well, El Guerito de Tepito, trained by Jose Benavidez Sr., obviously the father of David Benavidez. Mike, how would you describe his training philosophy? What do his fighters like to do?
Well, you look at David Benavidez, his son, right, who's in the main event, pressure fighter, and then, of course, Jose Benavidez Jr., former welterweight title challenger who fought Terrence Crawford, another pressure fighter. So I would expect a lot of action for as long as this lasts, Todd.
Yeah, and you got to believe Seewanyana's goal is to slow the pace, use fundamentals, and test the unproven fighter's skills. But you can see, obviously, Barker much smaller than Guerito.
If Barker knows how to fight small, he could loop the shots over the top. But you have to have a lot of foot feints and be fast on the front foot in order for a taller opponent to fall for those looping shots.
Sergio, most of the young Mexican fighters get their start in Tijuana and some other small clubs. They're not here on this grand stage in Riyadh.
Yeah, and that's why they want to shine, to get the call to come back here again. Whether it's Riyadh or anywhere else in the world, you know, Mexicans travel, they're road warriors.
Well, Mike, he wouldn't be able to fight in the United States, though, right?
No, he would need a special exemption just to fight at 17 years old. He's 16 years old, so gets to fight here as a pro. And he's from Mexico City, the capital of Mexico. He's fighting at bantamweight. Ruben Alvarez, also from Mexico City, widely considered the best bantamweight fighter of all time.
Good uppercut there from Tepito.
Yeah, it is. And if you notice, he bent his knee to get down lower. He did it responsibly. Anytime you're a tall fighter like that, lead uppercuts actually are not good to throw.
I don't know that I've ever seen a boxer wear SpongeBob SquarePants socks.
He's decked out. He's trying to beat him down like Squidward right now.
I don't watch cartoons. I'm sorry.
You've got 2 kids under the ages of 11. You don't watch cartoons?
No, my kids do homework, Todd.
But I was going to say, but you never did.
Yeah, I watched The Simpsons and Woody Woodpecker. Barker already tried to loop that shot one time, and Guerito didn't fall for it. So that I like what I'm seeing with Juan Carlos Guerito right now. You know, he bends his knees, he makes himself a little smaller target, and he's not falling for the shorter man's antics so far.
Well, it's every fighter's dream in their pro debut to get a highlight reel knockout, and you can tell already that Guerito is pushing the pace and throwing heavy power shots.
Yeah, any fighter that wants to make an impression and going for the knockout, it actually works against you. You know, that's why you got to start slowing things down, working behind the jab, you know, focusing more on technique and then twisting your punches. That's where you're going to generate the power.
You know, Sergio, fighters love to say that they don't look for the knockout, but Canelo Alvarez once told me that any fighter who says that is lying.
I never looked for the knockout.
That's because you couldn't get it.
Well, you know that.
No, you know, when you gotta stay within your boundaries when you're a fighter. If you're not a puncher and you know your character, then you gotta stay within those means. Canelo and many other Mexicans, they They have power. They have technique. Good body shots right there by Guerito.
You tell Barker's trying to make himself smaller and smaller than he already is to avoid those shots. But round one is done.
Relájate un poquito más, empieza con los retos, al ligadito le estás pegando, ¿no te vas a sentar? Al ligadito, prepara, pum, 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 y vete aquí al cuerpo, ¿ok? Se te está aventando un poquito así, un pasito para atrás y con los uppercuts, ¿ok? Estás bien, güey, estás bien, güey.
No te pegues tanto, mantén la
agüita.
Y mete el giro que tú estabas haciendo con Benavidez ahí en el cuarto.
No te le acerques tanto porque cuando ya estás adentro te va a abrazar, ¿sí me entiendes? Un pasito, cuando te vaya a abrazar, un pasito para atrás y el uppercut y salte para la orilla, güey, ¿ok? Lo estás haciendo bien, güey. Necesitas mantener ese control con ese jab y los rectos, ¿ok, güey?
Mucho abajo porque retrocedió.
Sí, güey, pero estás haciendo daño ahí, güey.
Yeah, you hurt him in there to the body. Open with the 1-2 or the jab to open him up. Yeah, and you need to hit the body. Left hand to the body. Keep working on that jab. Use the jab.
Guerito told us yesterday when we asked him how he's feeling about his pro debut, he said, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm feeling some pressure, I'm nervous, but I'm happy. Sergio, if he wasn't feeling nervous, there'd be something wrong with him, right?
No, you gotta have the butterflies. You gotta be a little antsy to go out there and impress, but you want to take your time. You want to use your jab, and that's what they wanted in the corner. Use your jab, slow things down, and make yourself smaller. Focus on technique.
Typical Mexican fighter, Sergio, moving forward, using pressure.
Yeah, not seeing a lot of jabs from Guerito so far. A lot of left hooks, though.
Barker finally throwing an overhand right. He just seems to want to duck down and kind of throw wide hooks to the body, does Barker Seewanyana. That's probably why he doesn't have a knockout in his first 3 professional fights.
Yeah, whenever power comes behind technique, of course you're born with power, but if you want to improve it, you want to do it with a proper technique. Elbows tucked in. You want to generate power by twisting your whole waist, footwork. And right now, when you're looping your shots like Barker are, you're losing all the power in between your elbow. Kind of like a golf swing, Todd. When you open your elbows up, you lose the power.
You got to keep it tucked. You see Guerito trying to work the body, but there's just not a lot of body to work with. Barker's trunks pulled up to almost his nipples.
Good body shot right there. And I'm glad the referee didn't warn him for that belt line shot.
But the referee should step in and make him lower the trunks. Now the trunks right now are going to be protecting really the body, right? To protect it.
Remember those memes for Usyk in his fight against Dubois where they had his trunks up to his chin?
Believe it or not, a lot of fighters that come from Africa, they have the high waist guard. They like those trunks. They always move up. It's up for the referee to definitely stop and warn them, or before the fight say, hey, look, these are going to be clean blows right here in the navel section.
Yeah, good point, Sergio. We saw it last week when Jack Catterall knocked out Echo Esserman. He had the trunks really high.
There you go. Now, a lot of fighters did do that, and some do it out of technique. Some just do it because maybe their underguard, their cup protector is really big. Good body shots. I love seeing this from young Mexicans or young fighters, period. But we know that Mexican fighters, that's their MO, going down to that liver.
Guerito telling us he does 3 things every day: eat, train, and sleep. That's it.
I'm sure he prays somewhere in between there too, Todd.
And eats too, probably a little bit. But Barker doing his best to make this an ugly fight, but he is throwing a...
No, he's throwing the right shots. Barker's throwing the right shots, the right looping shots, but he's not lying. He's not setting them up.
Well, you can buy it right now, and why wouldn't you? At DAZN.com/boxing, the Ring 4. We basically got 4 main events coming your way, headlined, of course, David Benavidez, Anthony Yarde, Light Heavyweight Championship of the World.
And you see Guerito getting hit by the end of that jab because he was anticipating the shorter fighter to miss that jab to land that uppercut. And that's what I mean, guys. It's a very dangerous punch for a taller fighter to lead with an uppercut because you leave your chin exposed. Barker didn't take advantage of that with a hook, but if he does that again, look for Barker to loop and hook his shots.
If you're just joining us, Juan Perez Guerito,
ooh, good shot there,
better known as El Guerito de Tepito, is making his professional debut at the age of 16 years old.
Yeah, and Todd, at 16 years old, he is the youngest Mexican fighter ever to fight outside North America as a pro.
And there's that looping shot by Barker, getting closer and closer to landing.
Should Tepito be backing off him a little bit, Sergio, to be able to extend those arms? He seems to be content getting on the inside and throwing hooks.
You know, it all depends how you like fighting really short fighters. Most boxers, I know I didn't go forward with shorter fighters. I let them fall off balance, looping shots. So I would jab and get really patient and wait for them to make a mistake.
Is that what Anthony Joshua is going to do to Jake Paul? You saw the height discrepancy there and that stare down.
At least in the first round. He can't just go out there, you know, trying to loop the shots, because Jake Paul, you can bet all he's going to be doing is looping that overhand right.
That was close to the back of the head, that shot from Guerito.
He keeps throwing that lead uppercut, and you know, he's not paying for it, so he keeps throwing it, but I would like to see him set it up with a jab or a lead right hand, then come up with the uppercuts. With short fighters, you got to make yourself smaller, bend your knees, and then alternate to height as well. You got to give him different looks. That way he's always guessing, is the taller fighter going to fight my level, or is he going to fight taller?
And you didn't like fighting shorter fighters. You'd rather fight tall guys, right?
I hated it. I fought a guy that was 6'5" one time, and I loved that. But I'd rather fight that than a 5'5" guy. Good.
Nice footwork.
Yeah, good pivot there. You don't see that from a lot of Mexican fighters.
He does seem to have good footwork. You can see him always switching his feet like that. But a big moment in the life of Barker Seewanyana, finding out of Uganda, getting to come here to the international boxing capital of Riyadh, bright lights, worldwide on DAZN. You know, his family and friends in his home country are watching right now.
Yeah, and he's been game, Todd. You know, he's been in there, ducked a lot of these punches, bending well.
I like the fact that Guerito's not really throwing hooks, because if you're hooking with a shorter fighter and you miss, you're going to be vulnerable. So keep it with straight shots. And if you're careful, the uppercut. See, there you go. Nice combination. And the hooks were to the body instead of the head.
And he's standing at range a little bit more now, getting outside now. He can hit Barker, but Barker can't hit him. Well, you know he wants to knock you out, but it's going to be very difficult against this rugged, awkward, small style of Barker Seewanyana.
Okay. She's doing well. Let's work hard this round. High guard. You're going to start this round on the initiative. Very early. I want you to make sure you get up close. Don't give him too much distance. When you hit him with 2 or 3 there, that's where you hurt him. Don't just mess around by showing one single shot, by throwing one shot. Combinations, that's what we need. More combinations.
That was the voice of our translator, Kieran Simpson, who has a birthday coming up in about 36 minutes, Sergio. The best in the business, is he not?
Feliz cumpleaños, Kieran, and yes, you are. The best in the business, happens to be a Brit. Speaks better Spanish than the Mexican here.
He said he wanted to learn Spanish because his father mastered the language of French, and he wanted to one-up him with a different language, so muy bueno.
Yeah, and you hear Jose Benavidez Sr. telling Guerito to throw more combinations. Benavidez is going to be pretty busy tonight. Besides having David Benavidez in the main event, he has Julio Porras Ruiz in 2 fights.
He loves that uppercut, doesn't he, Sergio?
Yeah, he does, but now he's stepping back with it. He's throwing away a jab, stepping back for Seewanyana to actually step into it. So now he's boxing smart, the way a tall fighter should be fighting. They must have told him that in the corner. You know, if you're going to throw that right uppercut, let him fall into it by stepping back just a little bit where he can set that trap.
Boy, Seewanyana just does not quit moving, ticking back and forth. Makes his small frame even more tiny.
Yeah, guys like Barker, Seewanyana, you gotta just jab him. Yeah, you gotta really alternate the power behind the jab and bust them up with that. Then you can surprise them with other shots. Keep it with twos and fews. Lead right hand, double jab right hand. Try to keep it as basic and simple as possible.
They're taking a point away. What was the point taken away for, do you know?
Holding. He's holding a lot on the inside, and Guerito was getting frustrated by it. I think it was a good call by the ref.
And now you could see Guerito actually throwing body shots, not both sides. And of course, that footwork trying to get an angle. And now you could see why Barker got point taken away. He is holding.
Never met a person with the first name Barker. Of course, Bob Barker, last name, and Darren Barker. But this is Barker Seewanyana. Good right hand from Juan Guerito.
Barker Mayfield.
There you go.
That's Baker Mayfield.
Oh, Baker.
All right, that was close.
Just an R off.
Yeah.
.45 seconds left to go here in the professional debut of Juan Perez Guerito.
Good right hand right there. That actually hit the right side of the head where you could see that Barker's knees kind of wobbled a little bit. The equilibrium's a little off. It was that side shot because Guerito got an angle on him.
Yeah, Guerito's doing a pretty solid job of sliding around to create angles.
Well, that was a little low blow there.
I don't know if it was. Those trunks are still pretty high, Sergio, no?
Well, technically, it's not if you go by the trunks.
Right hand there from Barker. He got one in. Give him that. The professional debut will be a winning one for Mexico's Juan Perez Guerito. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes. The countdown is on. This is one fight that either man could win their world title. If Abdullah Mason gets the job done, he will be the youngest world champion in boxing today at the young age of just 21. That's coming up on Ring 4, Night of the Champions.
What a way to open up this card, man. Two undefeated fighters, young, strong, hungry, fighting for a world title. Doesn't get better than that to open things off.
All four of our main card fights tonight are for world championships, Mike.
Yeah, and we have Bam Rodriguez defending the best title in boxing, the Ring Magazine Championship. And I'm not just saying that because I work for the Ring, but it is the title you can only lose when you lose in the ring, not when some sanctioning body decides that you didn't pay a fee or some other thing.
Yeah, by the way, how is the WBA title on the line in the light heavyweight fight between Benavidez and Arthur Yarde? Explain that.
Yeah, that's because the WBA likes to create secondary titles so they can get more sanctioning fees, essentially. And Dimitri Bivol is the WBA champion. He had all four titles, and he relinquished the WBC title earlier this year when he was ordered to fight Benavidez. Bivol remains the Ring Magazine champion at 175.
So it's Yarde and Benavidez in the main event. And you know Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol will be watching that one closely. All right, let's get our decision. Looks like it should be a clean sweep for Guerito, but you never know.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and all 3 judges, Dan Rex, Taptason, Manuel Oliver Palomo, and Jerry Martinez are in agreement. They all scored the same, 40-35, for your winner by unanimous decision. and successful in his professional boxing debut, Juan El Guerito de Tepito.
Look at that smile, Sergio. Gotta love it.
Well, it's always exciting to come here and do what you wanted to do. He didn't get the knockout, but it was still a dominating performance. It's a huge card for Guerito, and you know everyone's watching, man. All eyes are on him, and that's a hell of a victory for a Mexican.
Well, plenty more live action to come tonight, and a reminder, there's a whole range of programming to watch on the DAZN platform.
The Locker Room, the new home of DAZN's boxing content. All your big hitters, all in one place.
I am not going to stop until I am pulled off of this guy.
Daniel, don't disrespect you are. Daniel, don't disrespect you are.
More exclusive content than ever before.
Look at that blood. You remember what's coming.
Welcome to Inside the Ring, boxing's official show of record. I'm your host, Max Keller.
The Locker Room, only on DAZN, the global home of boxing.
Yes, make sure you check out The Locker Room for a bunch of great shows focused on the fight game, including a new episode of Inside the Ring this Monday. Unwrapped looks back at all the best moments of the week captured here on DAZN, and Raw is a behind-the-scenes look at everything that transpires on Fight Night. The latest edition will focus on what happens here in Riyadh at Ring 4. What's about to happen right now is our second fight of the night, so let's head back over to Todd with the tail of the tape. Let's go.
Indeed, our second fight of the night here, the second of 9, and we have a fighter from right here in Saudi Arabia, and he's only 17 years old. We've gone from 16 to 17. Alhomammed taking on Chavan, who fights out of India. He's 3-1-1. And this will take place in the super featherweight division. Back in the ring, and Thomas.
Let's first welcome to the ring from India, Umesh Chavan.
Umesh Chavan even getting the pyro. How exciting is that? 3 straight fights unbeaten after beginning his career with a loss. He does have 1 knockout. And Mike, a couple of young Indian fighters trying to make their way in the sport, most notably 24-year-old Olympian Dev, who's 4-0.
Yeah, India, obviously massive population, billions of people, right? Well, millions. And India's still waiting for its first world champion. It would be massive for the country if they could get one.
Yeah, we saw Dev just beat Juan Carlos Medina in Orlando a couple of months ago. Actually, it was earlier this month, November 1st. So we'll see what Umesh Chavan has for us tonight, as he will be the underdog against the hometown fighter.
And now let's welcome to the ring, from right here, Saudi Arabia, Sultan Alhomammed.
What an exciting moment here for Sultan Alhomammed. Although he's been on a pretty big stage already, Sergio, his first professional fight was on the undercard of Canelo Crawford in Las Vegas.
I mean, it doesn't get bigger than that for your pro debut, but this is great too. How about that entrance? Some heavyweight champions don't even get that entrance. But here you have a fighter in Sultan Alhomammed with 1 fight under his belt, walking out like a star already.
Yeah, he beat Martin Carabello by decision in a 4-rounder. This fight also scheduled for 4 rounds here in Riyadh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the super featherweight division. Brought to you by Riyadh Season, Sella, Ring Magazine, Frank Warren for Queensberry, and Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing. along with their premium partners, Saudi Tourism Authority, STC, Saudi National Bank, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, and Saudia. Their strategic partners, Meyer United, Arroyo Cruises, Sadia, Lucid Motors, SHG, and Azure. Their main partners, Pepsi, and Arena Fitness Innovation, and their commercial partner, Prime. The 3 judges assigned will be Jean-Robert Lane of France, Jerry Martinez of Puerto Rico, and Mike Ross of the United States. Our referee in charge will be Edward Goyantes of the United States. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing blue with silver and weighed in officially at 129.9 pounds. Coming to us from Mapusa, India, he brings a professional record of 3 wins, 1 defeat, and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Umesh Chavan. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with green and weighed in officially at 129 pounds. At just 17 years of age, he is now undefeated as a professional with 1 victory. Ladies and gentlemen, from right here, Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, here is Sultan El Nino Alhomammed.
Gentlemen, here and above is legal blow. Here and above is legal blow. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Good luck.
You heard the ovation for Sultan Alhomammed fighting in his hometown. What a rush this has to be.
Yeah, and his first time fighting here, like Sergio said, he fought on the Canelo Crawford undercard. That was in Las Vegas. And you see Abel Sanchez in the corner, one of the best trainers in the sport.
I used to get nervous when I was 17 years old playing soccer at my high school in front of 10 people in the crowd. I can't imagine what this guy's feeling right now as he takes on Umesh Chavan.
And Abel Sanchez, Todd, he's already led 7 fighters to world titles, most notably recently Gennady Golovkin.
Dan, you heard the news this week. Triple G saying, don't shut the door quite yet. I might have another fight left in me. He's also running for the president of the World Boxing Council. Says if he wins that, he's going to retire.
Good jab by Alhomammed. Really sharp. Snaps it at the end of the punch. Brings it right back responsibly.
I was going to say, I was more impressive with how quick he got his defense back together.
Well, yeah, that's what you want whenever you're dealing with fighters from the, these 4-round fights. The jab's going to be the main thing, but technique's going to be even more important.
I like the way Chavan's fighting, though. He is not backing down.
Chavan's actually looping the shots a lot better than the last fight.
Yeah,
short
Barker.
fighter. Barker was not really setting him up right. There was no timing behind that looping shot. Chavan, you can see that he steps in with his front foot in order to land that overhand right and not fall off balance and be vulnerable.
Mike, do you get the sense now that a lot of these young fighters, instead of having Olympic dreams and wanting to win amateur titles, are turning pro earlier?
Yeah, Todd, you're seeing a lot of that. Guys want to make money, and a lot of times the amateur style does not
Good body shot dropping Umesh's hand down, and that opens up the head, and here comes Sultan.
Yeah, Chavan is on Queer Street right now. His knees are buckling, he's hurt. It was that body shot, and of course that opens up the left hook up top.
Oh, and you can see Umesh, though, not backing down. He's trying to get his offense going. He's another right hand.
Alhomammed barely missing with big knockout shots.
Umesh in the corner trying to fight his way out. Sultan downstairs again, and he'll take a count. And that's it, it's over. Give him a knockout in his second win. Sultan Alhomammed.
That body shot made him turn his back. The referee had to stop this fight. He wanted no mas. What a great body shot from beginning, didn't let up.
Instead of flurrying with speed, Alhomammed wanted the right shot, the precise shot, the power shot, and he got it.
Yeah, that's what it does for you, right, Sergio, when you're training in the mountains of Southern California with Abel Sanchez, who has trained some pretty big punchers. We mentioned Golovkin, also Terry Norris.
I met Abel Sanchez in Big Bear at Summit Gym when I was sparring Terry Norris, and you got it, man. He makes champions, and he trains them hard, and of course he digs down everything behind the jab responsibly. And look at this body shot. Boom! I say it all the time, body shots make cowards of us all, and you could see Chavan just turned his back instinctively, didn't want no more of that pain.
And that shows the inexperience of Chavan. I don't think he wanted to quit. He just thought he would get a standing 8 count instead of taking a knee. He turned his back, and when he faced the referees like, I'm ready to fight, the referee said, it's over, my friend.
That's what pain does. That's what liver shots do. You don't know how to react because you're not accustomed to getting hit down there with 8-ounce gloves. And when it finally happens, you just don't know how to come back from that.
Yeah, the ref really has no choice, like you said, when you turn your back. Reminds me of when Sergey Kovalev turned his back on Andre Ward in the rematch.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it could be the fight of the night. Bam Rodriguez and Puma Martinez, the second fight right out of the gate. 2 undefeated world champions going toe-to-toe. Sergio, who do you like in that one?
Listen, I like Bam Rodriguez, and I like it pretty convincingly, but a lot of critics, a lot of people I respect in boxing say this is going to be the fight of the night. We're going to find out.
Let's make it official. Back into the ring, Thomas Driver.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 5 seconds of round number 1. Our referee in charge, Edward Collantes, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout. From Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Sultan El Niño Alhomammed.
El Niño, the kid growing up in front of our eyes right here in Saudi, loves them here. I like what I saw, man. Normally when you see fighters with just 1 or 2 fights in these 4-rounders, their technique is a little bit off. They fall off balance. They smother their power, but not Sultan. I love what I saw, and that's exactly what you get when you're sparring in Southern California and you have Abel Sanchez in your corner. You just grow up a little bit faster.
Still 3 more fights to come on our free-to-air portion of the show. Go to DAZN.com/boxing to purchase the rest of Ring 4 Night of the Champions, the latest unmissable event on the home of boxing, which welcomes a new star next week.
I'm Ben Whittaker, and I fight only on DAZN.
The ring, and the Surgeon Whittaker.
He's flash, he's flamboyant, he's going to be different.
Love him or hate him, he's become almost must-see TV.
Welcome to the ring, and the Surgeon Whittaker.
He's flash, he's flamboyant, he's going to be different.
Love him or hate him, he's become almost must-see TV.
He's precocious.
Very confident, some will call it arrogant, very relaxed style about it. It's show business, he wants to entertain. He's going to put bums on seats, you know, and people are going to watch him.
A lot of people say I'm disrespectful, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that, but it's all part of boxing. Everybody has their own style, and for me, I'm Ben Whittaker, I've got my own little sauce.
Boy, does he love to slice and dice.
Got the whole package, I've got the skills, got the speed, got the charisma. The belts ain't going to pay the bills, but I do want them as well to hold up my jeans. So for me, it might sound greedy, but I want everything. Now join DAZN and Matchroom, I can show how good I really am. Watch my fight live, only on DAZN.
Well, Ben Whittaker's Matchroom debut against Benjamin Gavazzi is just one of the great fights coming your way next week. Tomorrow we head to Albania. Luka Plantic defending his WBC International Super Middleweight strap against Shadiri Bawogi. Then next Saturday, top Dutch prospect Gradus Kraus faces Rostam Ibrahim for the IBF European Light Heavyweight title. And in Mexico is Julio Luna versus Dante Jardon. We don't have long to go now until the start of Ring 4 Night of Champions. You can see here the approximate ring walk times for our 4 world title fights. the only way to watch those fights is to head over to DAZN.com/boxing and buy the event. But for right now, for our third free-to-air fight of the night, let's head back over ringside to Todd and the team over there.
And quickly, we move on. How about the pace of this show? We're on fire right now as we jump to the super middleweight division and another Mexican fighter, Porras. Did you hear I'll roll those two R's for you, Sergio?
Well, it took a lot of practice, but about time you got it right.
The 24-year-old unbeaten, very impressive, 13-0 with 9 knockouts, facing Mpenda, who's 28 years old, 11 wins, 4 losses, and 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Back to Thomas Driver.
Let's first welcome to the ring, from Tanzania, Pius Mpenda, JR9.
Pius Mpenda, a 16-fight veteran coming off a unanimous decision win over coming off a unanimous decision win over Chavan Indaro back in May. A little bit awkward style. He's long though, Sergio, and wants to try and make this fight maybe a little ugly to get the win.
Long, but he's faced nothing but good fighters with good records. So that, that goes to show that even though Porras is 13-0 with 9 knockouts, Mpenda does have some good names on his resume. He has some good records. So this should be a nice test for the Mexican tonight.
Pius Mpenda has been keeping a very positive attitude all week, always seems to have a smile on his face. Let's see if he'll still be grinning ear to ear after this fight's over.
Yeah, Todd, obviously not a lot of fighters from Tanzania, right? But one I can remember is Rogers Matagwa almost knocked out Juan Lopez in a title fight in 2009. That was a war.
And now let's welcome to the ring, from Mexico, the undefeated Julio Diamante Porras.
He's called the Diamond, and he's got a shiny record, Sergio. 13 wins, no losses, 9 wins coming by knockout. He's a big boy. You don't see a ton of super middleweight Mexicans, perhaps, other than Canelo Alvarez.
And Zurdo Ramirez, who started his career at 168. But yeah, you're right. Mexicans are getting bigger, and they're fighting in taller, higher weight classes, and they're fitting in nicely because they have the power and they bring the technique behind it.
Yes, Sergio, when I think of Diamante, I think of Raul Marquez, the former title holder, broadcaster,
and Olympian, U.S. Olympian. Shout out Raul Marquez.
No love for David Diamante, anybody?
There you go.
Good one.
Boy, he's all business. Pius was smiling. Porras looks like he's about to get in a fight, and he is about to get in a fight. So you got the classic pressure versus distance. Maybe geography decides the winner here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super middleweight division. Brought to you by Riyadh Season, Sella, Ring Magazine, Frank Warren for Queensberry, and Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing. Along with their premium partners, Saudi Tourism Authority, STC, Saudi National Bank, Dr. Suleiman Al Habib Medical Group, and Saudia. Their strategic partners, Meyer United, Arroyo Cruises, Sadia, Lucid Motors, SHG, and Azure. Their main partners, Pepsi and Arena Fitness Innovation, and their commercial partner, Prime. The judges are Mike Fitzgerald of the United States, Pavel Hennick of Czech Republic, and Mike Ross of the United States. Our referee in charge will be Leszek Jankowiak. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing gold with black and white and weighed in officially at 166.12 pounds. Coming to us from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. He brings a professional record consisting of 11 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw. 5 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pius Mpenda, JR9. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing black with silver and weighed in officially at 167.9 pounds. Hailing from Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico, he brings an undefeated record with 13 wins. 9 of his 13 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Julio Diamante Porras.
Boxers, you received my instructions in dressing rooms. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Everything from bed line and up is okay. Everything from bed line and up is okay. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Once again, Jose Benavidez Sr. in the corner. This is his second fighter of the night. He has the main event, obviously, of course, as well, with his son David in action. And Porras coming off a first-round knockout in his last fight against Isaac Torres. You know he'd love to get another one here.
And the height difference is staggering right here in this weight division. But you could see it. I could already tell that he's fighting responsibly tall. You know, he didn't come looking for that right hand on the shorter fighter. He's actually the one backing up, you know, flicking that jab, wanting Mpenda to throw something and fall off balance.
It's got to be some kind of record, right, Sergio? 2 fights already with Mexico versus Africa.
Yeah. And much taller Mexicans. Good body shot. See, that's what I'm talking about with responsible tall fighting. Bending your knees like that just to go to the body of the shorter fighter. You know, when you're that much taller than your opponent, you got to fight responsibly tall. You know, you can't just stay in one height. You're bound to get timed.
Well, Sergio, you talked about this before, that Mexican style is getting a little more culture with Zurdo Ramirez kind of leading the way. It's not just, I'm tougher than you are, I'm going to outwork you. It's a little more refined.
New school Mexican style is what I call it. And we've been seeing that ever since Eric Morales. We know he was a warrior, but he can also box. And, of course, Canelo Alvarez and so many others. And Juan Manuel Marquez, actually, he was the one that I first realized this guy was a warrior, but he had technique, he can box. And I think more Mexicans are picking that up to extend their career and become champions in multi-divisions.
On the back of Porras' trunks, it says Ezekiel 3:9. Interesting Bible verse to choose. It starts out with, I will make your forehead like the hardest stone, harder than flint. So I guess he's got a
hard head?
Hard head, yeah. Or he wants a hard head. He's praying for one.
You know any more Bible verses?
Jesus wept.
Okay. Jesus tonight.
Porras undefeated, 9 knockouts. A lot of fights.
Good jab.
Yeah. Boy, Pius and Mpenda finally throwing something, but he's got to get much closer and throw much higher. Almost needs to jump to throw. But Joe Frazier made a career out of doing that.
Yeah, but Joe Frazier had upper body movement. He made himself even smaller, yet quick, explosive left hooks. You know, that's the reason, you know, you would think that he was ducking down too low where he couldn't jump up and hit you. Frazier made a career out of that.
Yeah, you got to make sure that you're not getting punched in the temple there, right?
You know, guys like Joe Frazier, Dwight, Mohammed, a lot of short fighters, they know how to fight small. And it's a talent, you know, whenever you're that small, if you got the skill, you got the speed, you got the strong back where you can actually bend, and you can make a career out of fighting taller fighters.
Good uppercut there right at the bell. We got a packed house tonight, an absolute sellout, and they'll be here till early in the morning. The main event scheduled to walk at 5:45 a.m. Mike, that's way past your bedtime.
I don't know about mine. Definitely Sergio's, though.
I've been sleeping a lot.
Lots to do here outside the arena as well. They've got the fan zone, punch the bag, put on the VR goggles, eat, drink, and be merry. It's always a good time here in Riyadh. And this is a city not quite like Vegas, but the bright lights, and no one goes to bed until, what, 6, 7 in the morning. All the restaurants are open all night long.
The restaurants are opening, the coffee shops, the tea shops, the hookah lounges.
Se está bien de vez en cuando, pero de vez en cuando cambias el derechito.
It's okay now and again, but make sure you land in shots, you know?
Seconds out. Round 2.
Round 2 scheduled for 6. Our previous fights were 4-rounders. So we're inching up, and of course the main card tonight, all 4 of the fights will be scheduled for 12 rounds. Which fight, Mike, are you most looking forward to?
Tough to pick just one, Todd. I think the fight that could steal the show is Bam Rodriguez versus Fernando Martinez. That has action written all over it.
Yeah, I think maybe the sleeper fight's the one right out of the gate. Noakes in action against Abdullah Mason. Both of those guys full of confidence, Sergio, and they both think they're going to get a knockout.
You know what? It's not going to bring the same weight as, say, a Brian Norman and Haney, but yes, I agree with you. Whenever you have undefeated fighters like that, they're so hungry from different parts of the world. You know, they want to defend that. Oh, and they're fighting for a world championship. So I agree with you, man. I think Sam Noakes and Abdullah Mason is going to be something special.
Yeah, Abdullah Mason, 21 years old.
Always looking for the knockout, both fighters, too. So don't expect them to do distance.
The crowd really pulling for Pius Mpenda, who's giving him something to cheer about here in round 2.
Yeah, he does, because he finally made himself even smaller, broke that distance, and went straight to the body of the taller fighter.
Yeah, these guys are really starting to trade in here now. Best Mexico versus Africa fight I can think of, Abner Mares versus Joseph Abeco. I think our friend Mares threw about 30 low blows in that fight.
He pulled an Andrew Galata.
Foul pole.
Julio Porras, 24 years old. Still plenty of time to grow into that big frame. As you mentioned, Zurdo Ramirez started his career at 168. Now he's at 200 as a cruiserweight and has even talked about going up to heavyweight eventually. Looking forward to seeing Zurdo back in the ring, coming off of surgery. Rumors are he might be in action in February, or in January rather. Nothing booked yet.
Nice step back by Julio Porras. That shows his athleticism. He stepped back, bent his knees, made himself smaller, and threw a right uppercut. That's how you do it responsibly, by checking your technique, being out of range of the smaller fighter, and a sharp one shot.
Some news for you, Todd, right here. I'm hearing that Zurdo could be fighting Robin Safar next.
Really?
Obviously, he had that knockout of Sergey Kovalev.
You are the insider. Yeah, we saw Safar in action recently. Went the distance against a fighter we thought he was going to knock out. Sergio had some trouble.
Yeah, I think he's going to evolve and learn from that fight, because he has a lot to offer, man. I like Robin Safar. I like everything I see with him. Just kicking it into another gear. But I'm glad he's getting a big fight.
We were just talking about our first fight of the main card, Sam Noakes versus this man, Abdullah Mason, in the building. And Mike, a chance in history for him tonight. He wins. He becomes the youngest title holder in the world.
Yeah, it's an incredible feat. People have had their eyes on him for a long time in boxing. Talked to a lot of people in the industry, Todd, and they all say this guy could be the pound-for-pound king one day.
And we're seeing the next generation, because Bam Rodriguez became the youngest champion in boxing. Devin Haney was a young undisputed champion, and now we have Abdullah Mason to become the youngest now. So it's a bright generation for boxing, and it's looking great.
That is for the vacant WBO lightweight world title right out of the gate on our main card, coming up later tonight.
Bonus 10 seconds.
That is part of the Ring 4 Night of the Champions. Buy it now, DAZN.com. / boxing. And of course, it's also part of our ultimate package. One low price, and you get over 12 pay-per-views a year, including 185 other fight cards here on DAZN.
That's what I want to see more from Mpenda. You know, stabbing at the body of the long torso of Porras.
You know, a lot of small fighters, you don't think about them throwing the jab, but Mike Tyson even said the most important punch for me was my jab.
Yeah, but you have to have quick feet. You know, the thing about Mike Tyson, he was explosive with his feet. He would square up, he would turn southpaw, and then he would double and triple jab his way in. That's something short fighters need to do, not just throw one jab. You got to double, triple up the jab. You have to have fast feet to break that range and distance.
Are you seeing anything special from Porras that makes you think maybe he could be somebody?
Not yet. Quick hands. He's responsible with his range. He fights responsibly, but no wow factor yet. But it's difficult fighting short fighters like Mpenda, so you know it takes a while to adjust. And with fighters like Mpenda, you just got to be happy with the jab, you know, alternating speed and power of the jab, using the entire ring, you know, throwing straight right hands. No combinations with shorter fighters, you know, you don't give them a chance to loop something or punch in between the shots. Keep it with twos and fews.
Boy, anytime Mpenda can get close and land a punch, the crowd will respond. They're cheering for the David in this David and Goliath matchup.
That was a good stabbing jab by Porras. It's rare you see such a tall fighter like that jab to the gut of a much smaller opponent. Ooh, good shot there by Mpenda. Ooh, again.
The crowd, I told you, they come to life. They want to see Mpenda pull off the upset here.
Mpenda set that looping shot with two body shots downstairs, got the elbows down and the guard down on Porras, and he came over the top. Sly fighters of Mpenda.
Yes, Sergio, you just called it moments ago, right? When you're the shorter fighter, you're taller, you have to be wary of that.
Still to come, our featured preliminary fight, Vito Milnicki Jr. and Samuel Moa. A lot of back and forth talk yesterday or the day before at the press conference between those two. Milnicki, nicknamed White Magic. Let's see if he can improve on that 21-1 record. There's a right hand from Mpenda.
It's a great round by Mpenda. Mpenda looked good right here.
And we say hello ringside. Todd Grisham, Sergio Mora, and Mike Coppinger here. No Chris Mannix this week. How do you feel about that?
Well, we're here with the legend, Mike Coppinger, who is a good dresser, good commentator, and a good writer. So I'm glad Mike's here.
Happy to be here.
We miss you, Chris.
Chris on not daddy duty yet, but eventually daddy duty, as his wife, Sinisa Estrada, is due almost any day now. So salute and hello from Riyadh, and good luck to you guys out in California.
Papa Mannix.
Do we have to get him a baby gift, by the way? Is that?
I'm not getting him nothing.
Bonus 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 4.
All right, we're in round 4, scheduled for 6. Let's see if one of these guys can land a consequential punch to really get this place heating up, because it is cold in here, I'll tell you that.
Well, I like the way Mpenda finished the last round. It seems like he's getting closer and closer to getting what he wants to do, and that's breaking that distance, not fighting at the long range of Porras, and of course looping the shots. But it starts with body shots that Mpenda did on both sides. See right there, he tried to loop the shot, but he didn't set up with body shots.
Just past midnight local time here in Riyadh.
Good thing they have strong coffee out here, right?
Yeah, how many cups of coffee have you guys drank today, by the way?
I'm going on number 6.
Wow.
You're addicted.
No, I just love the coffee, and I slept a lot.
Mike, one of our first trips over here, Sergio went to a beverage stand, took a sip of it, said, this is some of the best coffee I've ever had. And the guy who gave it to him said, it's tea.
Classic.
There's the shot.
Right hand from Mpenda.
Man, getting really close to landing that solid. I would love to see if he lands it clean on the tempo. I want to see how the legs of Porras are going to respond. But Mpenda's getting closer and closer. See that?
Yep. And you see Porras has those hands down.
Yeah. Porras just needs to jab, man. He's in there with a stubborn, short, explosive fighter in Mpenda. So just be happy keeping him on the outside of that long range. Double and triple that jab. And try to set him up with that big right hand.
And it was actually just the anniversary earlier this week of that incredible knockout, Sergio Martinez, when he looped that shot against Paul Williams, the taller man.
Knockout of the year, face down on the canvas. Mpenda, 5 knockouts in his 11 wins, so not a ton of power, but he has got some KOs under his belt.
Good shot.
He just ate one there.
Mpenda has the right idea. You know, he's punching between the shots of the longer arm Porras. He's trying to time that overhand right. He keeps inching that front foot closer and closer. You know, not being at mid or long range. Clever fighter, Mpenda.
Yeah, doesn't seem like a lot to be excited about for Porras. Really hasn't put his stamp on this fight.
Yeah, he neglected the jab. You know, he's pawing the jab out there, but I would be busting up the shorter fighter with the jab, man. Just, you know, punching from the taller stance, making yourself a little smaller, but everything behind that jab, you know, make him run into the hard shots. Alternate it with speed, with flicking jabs, and then surprise him with the shotgun jab. But if you're hooking with a smaller fighter, I mean, it's only going to be a matter of time before the smaller fighter, you know, beats you to the hook.
Coming up next, Mohammed Alakel from Saudi Arabia, unbeaten, 6-0 in action. He'll be taking on Jiaming Li from China. Sergio, he seems to be getting better and better every time we see him.
No, I do. Yeah, I really like Alakel, and it started with, you know, the punch placement. You know, when he first started, the footwork was fine, but he was quick to punch. He wasn't turning them. He wasn't turning the knuckle, keeping his elbow in. You know, he's focusing on speed. Now he's focusing more on technique, and behind technique is going to come the power. And credit to Abel Sanchez for slowing them down, you know, turning the punches and minding your technique before the power comes.
Mike, you spend a lot of time in this country. Can you imagine if someone like Mohammed Alakel was the one-day challenge for a world title? He wouldn't be fighting in an arena, he'd be fighting in a stadium.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the fights they're having here now, right? And His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, it's a dream of his and a passion project to crown a champion. So Sultan Mohammed and Mohammed Alakel training with Abel Sanchez.
That fight is next. Some work to do here. We're in round 5, scheduled for 6. Do you think Mpenda's won a round yet, guys?
Maybe one, yeah. But he's in several rounds, and especially the later rounds.
Well, if he's got one round, if he wins the last 2, could have a draw. There's that right hand.
There's that right hand, and that's because Porras let him in. He let him in too close, and that's credit to Mpenda.
Ooh. And that time he led in with a jab, which created the opening, and this is where he wants to be. Caught him again with a right, and Porras does not look too good right now.
Looping both shots now, because now he already figured it out. He got the formula. He broke that long distance. He's inside the reach, so now he's looping both hands and landing cleanly. You can see Porras didn't like those shots now on the back foot boxing.
And he's doing a nice job, I think, of dipping his head when he throws the overhand shot.
That's what you have to do. You know, you got to tuck that chin in and swing for the fences, but do it responsibly.
You threw a lot of those against, I think I was Alfredo Angulo.
No, I threw a lot of those, period, because I would make myself small. There you go. That's a shot right there. I learned that shot when I was watching, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns. You know, Tommy Hearns was winning every round. It was like the later in the fight, you're blowing it, son. It was that overhand right to the taller Hearns, and that changed everything for Sugar Ray.
And now you see some blood trickling from the nose of Julio.
trying to fight his way back. This is not where he wants to be. In close, and he made another right hand. This is the best round of the fight by far for Pius and Mpenda.
Oh, and he's rocking Porras. He's not only has he rocked him, but he shook him. Now Porras is thinking twice about throwing his own punches.
Maybe this will wake the Mexican up a little bit. Kind of treating this like a sparring session. Good uppercut there.
Yeah, I wouldn't throw that uppercut. Now that Mpenda's already landing those overhand shots, that's the last punch you want to throw, is that lead uppercut. You leave your chin exposed, and it's not a good look for technique for the taller fighter that's getting rocked.
Porras with a combination there. Haven't seen a ton of those from him. Yeah, every time Mpenda comes in with the jab, he gets some successful shots to land after it.
Yeah, that's the punch you should be landing right now. You know, you gotta hide that overhand right. You know, Porras has already felt it. He's expecting it. Now you gotta hide it. You gotta be more, manipulate your opponent into that overhand shot and do that with jabs and foot feints.
Big round for the Tanzanian.
This round good, Mpenda. Good one. This round good. Last round more push. This round you're good. This round okay. But stop it. Stop it, brother. You need to stop it. Stop it. Okay, stop it, please. Stand, you want water?
There's an uppercut coming around the guard, alternating the attack by the shorter fighter in Mpenda, and there's the shot right there. All three punches in the book. Uppercut, right hook, and then looping shot over the top. Clean shot. You can see that Porras is feeling those punches. He got the respect. And Mpenda needs to continue doing this and attacking the taller fighter.
That's how obviously Mpenda won that round. You hear his corner telling him, stop him.
And that shot was right on the temple, Sergio. It doesn't matter how good your chin is. You get hit on the temple, you could go down very easily.
Absolutely, especially for tall fighters. You know, they're not accustomed to getting hit with looping shots by shorter fighters. Their legs betray them sometimes.
That's what happened against Anthony Joshua, right? When he fought Andy Ruiz, another shorter fighter.
That's what happens with taller fighters, period, because, you know, they don't take the looping shots as comfortable as shorter fighters. They can't hide it. See how easy it is to see? Sweat flying, you heard the crowd ooh.
He felt that one.
Just like Joseph Parker and Bacoli right here in Riyadh.
There you go.
So what's your strategy if you're Porras right now, Sergio, after coming off that tough round 5?
I would go back to the basics, and that's the jab. I mean, you got all that height, you got all that reach. You just got to flick that jab out there. You make the shorter fighter who's already getting aggressive, let him run into your jab. Bust them up with that jab. But see, that's all he's been doing, Porras. He's just been flicking that jab, touching that jab, poking that jab, but he's not really committing to that jab.
No doubt about it, Mpenda has to win this round. And it still might not be enough. Mpenda now the one pressing forward.
Ooh, just missed a big right uppercut of Mpenda.
Boy, he is swinging for the fences, and he has to. That's what his corner told him to do.
As he should. Momentum has changed. Now it's Mpenda going forward, being the aggressor, looking for the big shots.
Julio Porras certainly lucky that this is only a 6-round fight.
Nice right hand again. And Porras is leaving himself wide open as he follows through with these power punches.
Yeah, momentum has definitely changed. This is Mpenda's round, and the momentum has switched. You can see that Porras is respecting and backing up, feeling the hands of Mpenda.
Good thing this isn't an 8-rounder, or Porras would be in some real trouble losing on the cards.
Yep, that's what Cop just mentioned. I agree.
Nice left there from Porras. I'm having trouble rolling my R's the more I say Porras. Sorry, Sergio.
You're doing all right.
Rare body shot from Mpenda. Surprised he hasn't been going downstairs more often?
Yeah, a little bit surprised. I mean, that should be the MO of very stout fighters, short fighters that are accustomed to being a lot shorter and smaller than their opponents. The body's the way to go.
And that will do it as Porras bounces off the ropes. So you've got to believe Mpenda most likely won those last 2 rounds, but did he sneak one of the first 4 and earn a draw? We'll find out here momentarily. But I want to remind you of what's coming up straight ahead on our main event of the evening. Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney. This is Haney's first fight at 147, and he goes right after a champion, Sergio. Do you agree with that strategy?
I agree with the guts of Devin Haney, and you could just look at his resume, and this guy hasn't, he hasn't avoided anyone. It's champion after champion. You gotta give the kid credit, man. He turned a dream into reality.
Not a lot of happy faces in the corner of Porras right now, and for good reason.
And you asked me early in the fight if I'm impressed with what I'm seeing, and I couldn't really pick out anything, Todd, because there's a lot of work to be done with Julio Porras right now. And one of the things is upper body movement. The thing about Mexican fighters, they have great upper body movement. They work on their lower back. They know how to go under punches. Porras was a little bit too stiff. Didn't use the jab enough. Fought to the smaller man's stature and got hit with those looping shots. It wasn't the type of performance where you can go away and say, all right, there's something to work with there. There's a lot that Julio Porras needs to work on.
Let's hear what the judges had to say, and for that, we're back in the ring with Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and all 3 judges, Mike Ross, Mike Fitzgerald, and Pavel Hennick, are in agreement. They all scored the same, 57-57. This bout is a unanimous draw.
Well, there you go. He did win one of those early rounds, Sergio.
Yes, he did, and I'm glad the judges gave him credit for it. This wasn't a good performance by the undefeated Julio Porras. And Mpenda, I mean, what can you ask for? He was a B-side. He was brought here to lose, and a draw is a victory for the Tanzanian fighter.
Well, it's been quite a year here on DAZN. We've had some incredible nights across the globe, and 2026 promises more of the same.
Which one of these 2 lions will leave Wembley as the face of English boxing? It's over! There's no way back from this! Oh, the big left hand, unbelievable! Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury lock horns all over again. Here's Itauma, the heir apparent. And he's just done it! Round 1! Destruction! He's out on his feet! They've stopped the fight! Virgil Ortiz! These shots are really sweet from Stevenson. No love lost between these 2. Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, the undisputed light heavyweight champion, and seal his place in history.
Well, we close 2025 back here in Riyadh with Ring 5, Night of the Samurai, featuring pound-for-pound stars Naoya Inoue and Junto Nakatani. 2026 then begins with an eagerly anticipated rematch between Amanda Serrano and Erica Cruz. The Magnificent 7, headlined by Moses Itauma against Jermaine Franklin. That comes your way on January 24th. And we got more still in February. Eduardo Sugar Nunez facing Emmanuel Navarrete for the IBF and WBO super featherweight titles. All of that and more for you on DAZN. We got just one more free-to-air fight, everybody. Then it is Ring 4 Night of the Champions. To buy the event, head right now to DAZN.com/boxing. Right now, though, let's take you back to the action and Todd.
Get ready for our fourth fight of the night and another Saudi fighter in action. Probably the best there is today in the pro ranks. Mohammed Alakel, undefeated, only 21 years old, taking on China's Jiaming Li, who's 7-5 with 4 knockouts, 6 rounds, super featherweight division.
Let's first welcome to the ring from China, Jiaming Li.
From Zhuhai, China, the tough veteran who likes forward pressure, Jiaming Li. Some other famous Chinese professional fighters you may have heard of: Zhu Shiming, the Olympic champion, and of course the Big Bang, Zhang Zheli, who's fought here in Riyadh several times.
Yeah, Zhang Zheli, last time he was here in Riyadh, knocked out by Guy Caballel, some big body shots. Caballel back, trying to reopen that Germany market next month on the zone.
What have you heard about the Big Bang? We saw him do so well against Deontay Wilder. Where does he go now from here after losing to Caballel?
Sorry, I meant to say January on the zone for Caballel. But for Zhang, look, I think he's still in the mix for some big fights. Yes, he's in his 40s now, but he's a big name, and I'm still waiting to see a fight in China.
Yeah, he said he wanted Anthony Joshua in China one day. Doubtful that happens now, but you never know.
And now let's welcome to the ring from Saudi Arabia, mighty Mohammed Alakel.
Mohammed Alakel, the Riyadh-born prospect, training in Big Bear. He's tall and technical, coming off a 10-round decision win over Travis Crawford on the Crawford-Canelo card in Las Vegas. And 83% of you on our DAZN fan zone believe he'll get the job done. Sergio, what do you like about it?
Well, I like the fact that in his 6th fight, he was able to beat Travis Crawford in a 10-round fight. So I like the fact that they have confidence for such a young fighter, already going 10 rounds, but he's learning fast. He fights behind a long jab, good in and out footwork, and he follows instructions. That's the main thing I like about Alakel. He listens, he learns, and he's evolving nicely.
Abel Sanchez, his trainer, his 2nd fight of the night. And on the right of the screen, Rick Reno, the CEO of Rick Magazine, dressed to impress as always. Mike, why doesn't he loan you some of that Versace stuff?
I don't think I can pull it off, Todd.
Pull it off of him or just wear it?
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super featherweight division. Brought to you by Riyadh Season, Sella, Ring Magazine, Frank Warren for Queensberry, and Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing. Along with their premium partners, Saudi Tourism Authority, STC, Saudi National Bank, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, and Saudia. Their strategic partners, IR United, Arroyo Cruises, Sadia, Lucid Motors, SHG, and Azure. Their main partners, Pepsi and Arena Fitness Innovation, and their commercial partner, Prime. The 3 judges assigned will be Nawaf Alhomammed of Saudi Arabia, Mike Fitzgerald of the United States, and Leszek Jankowiak of Poland. Our referee in charge will be Pavel Haney of Czech Republic. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with gold and weighed in officially at 132.3 pounds. Coming to us from Zhuhai, China, he brings a professional record of 7 wins, 5 defeats, with 4 of his 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jiaming Li. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with green and weighed in officially at 131.6 pounds. Undefeated, he has 6 wins. 1 win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, from right here, Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, here is mighty Mohammed Alakel.
Gentlemen, you received your instruction in the dressing room. Please follow the rules. Here and here is a low blow line. Do not punch below. Always protect yourself. Good luck. Touch gloves.
Mohammed Alakel, 1 knockout in his 6 wins. He'd love to get this crowd buzzing if he can stop Jiaming Lee, a veteran of 12 professional bouts.
Round 1. And half of those bouts against undefeated opponents. He's beaten 3 of those undefeated opponents. Another one is in front of him tonight.
And look how quick he went on the front foot, taking no time to put the pressure on Lee.
And this is what I like about Alakel. Look at the foundations are good. The foundation's good. The footwork, the hands are up, elbows are in, responsible jab. Look at that feint right there. I love seeing that from young fighters, that power of the feint, to let your opponent, not know when the power and the punch, when the speed's gonna come.
Mike, when you're looking at a prospect to see if maybe he can develop to be something special, what are some of the things you like to look for that can, be a precursor?
For me, it's usually the fundamentals, right? Do they bring their hands back after they throw a punch? Do they have their head off the center line? How's the footwork? So Alakel is going to have a great shot with a well-schooled teacher in his corner.
I agree, and for me, you didn't ask me, Todd, but for me, it's a technique and the footwork. I agree with Mike. Footwork is key, man, and everything's based off the foundation of a fighter. How quick they are to react with their feet is how they're going to react.
Right on the temple, and that buckled Lee.
And this is what I see with Alakel, just how fast they're grooming him to be something great. He's learning really fast and really responsible. The hand speed is there, and you can see the pop behind that punch it's getting better because he's doing it behind technique.
Yeah, training out of Big Bear, California. And it's no joke, Sergio. You've trained there before, have you not?
I have. Some of my biggest fights, training on 10,000 feet altitude. Oscar De La Hoya used to train there. Terry Norris used to train there. That's the first time I met Abel Sanchez in the Summit Gym.
Sugar Shane Mosley, of course.
Yeah, he had his own gym there. Oscar De La Hoya, Fernando Vargas. I sparred them all up in Big Bear.
Lee having a hard time trying to close the distance.
Ooh, see that? Look at that feint right there. I said the power of the feint, right, guys? Look at how Lee reacted to that. He acted like he got punched, but nothing touched him. But that's the power of that foot feint, of the body feint. And now you can mix it up with jab, the lead right hands. That's how you trap your opponent.
Jab is really working for Alakel. He's having a really sharp round 1. It's the best he's looked.
This is I was about to say that. This is the best he's looked, absolutely.
He looks like he knows the level. He knows he's a level above this guy and is fighting like him.
And not only that, but he's doing it against a fighter who's accustomed to fighting undefeated opponents and beating some of them as well. So Lee it's not like Lee's an opponent with a bad losing record. He's beating undefeated fighters, and now Alakel is doing really well against him.
The crowd really appreciating what they're witnessing.
Very, very good. The only thing I want to see now is I want to see the right hand a little bit more here, okay? Even if it's just one shot, it's okay. The next one is here, and then right back up the middle, bounce it off his chest, okay? Very, very good work. Jab, double jab sometimes.
Spit.
Huh?
Right below you.
Double jab it sometimes, okay?
Yeah.
Sharp boxing by Mighty Mo right there. Look, slight foot feint, step back, lead right hand. That just looks like a fighter that landed a right hand, but look at that little slight feint, slight step back, came back right on the tip of the chin. That's fluidity, that's timing, and of course that's something they work out over and over in the gym and execute it perfectly.
And Sergio, you heard Abel Sanchez in the corner there asking for more of those right hands and for a double jab.
Let's see what kind of closer he is, Sergio. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Lee looks like he's ready to go.
Well, he is coming off a knockout loss, so I would go for it if I was Alakel as well. You know, remind him of that knockout, remind him of that loss. And if he gets, he's going to be with the right hand.
Jab is on point for Alakel, who is tall and technical. And Lee just can't seem to find anything to work offensively.
And that's what I wanted to see from Alakel, the hooks now, because we know that he was a good straight shooter, you know, jabs and right hands. Now he's becoming more of a combination puncher. Start throwing the left hook behind that long two, and then maybe open up that right uppercut.
Yeah, for Alakel, it surely is a dizzying crash course into boxing, right? You're 21 years old, you're leaving your country, going halfway around the world to train.
He almost swung out of his shoes.
Lee is hunching forward with his elbows open, and uppercut right down the middle is open, so hopefully Alakel can see that. You know, jab his way in and throw that right uppercut right from bottom to the top. See right there, there's a wide opening from bottom to top. Lee has his elbows way open, even though his temples are covered, everything else from the bottom is open.
Well, what would you be doing now if you're Lee? We're talking about Mohammed here, but Lee just can't get anything going.
I would be jabbing at the chest of Mohammed. You know, you're not going to land on the chin, so aim at the chest of the torso and try to back him up, because Alakel's been on the front foot this entire fight.
Another swing and a miss from Lee.
And he's going to keep missing if he doesn't time that jab.
Lee made his professional debut back in 2017, and we're talking about Alakel just being 21 years old, just, you know, getting his feet wet. But then you turn to Abdullah Mason here in a couple fights. He's 21, fighting for a world title. He'll be facing Sam Noakes, who fights out of Kent, UK, in England. Alakel's got him backed against the ropes, still being patient here in round two.
Yeah, I like how fighters are taking more chances now. You know, fighting for titles a lot earlier in their career, in their 20s. Takes it back to the heyday of boxing of the 80s. You know, Sugar Ray Leonard fighting guys like Thomas Hearns and Roberto Duran by the time he was 24, 25 years old. You don't see that nowadays. There's that hook I want to see from Alakel. A sharp hook.
Left hand from Lee. Body shot. Oh, nice counter jab, then works the body. Lee says, bang me some more.
Yeah, well, it's a double shot to the body.
Probably bad phrasing there for me. Hey, bam, there he is. Bam Rodriguez. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas. Talk about young guns. This man has all the goods. And he says, listen, if I win tonight, I know I'm on a lot of people's pound for pound list. If I win tonight, I want to be spoken in the same sentences with the Usyks of the world and the Crawfords of the world.
And I agree, because this man has taken every challenge given to him, knocked off a lot of these four kings, and now there's another king in front of him from Argentina and world champion.
Yeah, Fernando Martinez, you know, he's no stranger to traveling around the world. 2 title fights last year in Japan against Kazuto Ioka, a really quality fighter. So I think he's ready for this, and he is battle tested.
4 belts on the line, including the Ring Magazine Super Flyweight Championship. Martinez promising a knockout and a belt to take back to his country in Argentina. Round 3 here between Mohammed Alakel and Jiaming Lee.
From the evolution that we've seen Mohammed Alakel from the first fight to this fight, going on the 7th fight now, it's night and day, guys. It really is night and day. From the footwork to the upper body movement to the foot feints, to the ring generalship, using the entire ring, to the pressure and defensive responsibility. I mean, in 7 fights, it's night and day.
He's trying to bait Lee into throwing something because he's able to clip him almost every time with a counter shot, but Lee's not taking the bait.
Well, because Lee's not really trying to be offensive. You know, he's a defensive fighter. He wants Alakel to make the mistakes.
And that's why we have this standoff right now.
Guys like Lee don't come to win. They come to, you know, compete and hopefully catch your opponent making a mistake.
The crowd trying to urge Alakel on, but he's not jumping in there. He's being patient.
And what I mean by Jiaming Lee not coming to win is...
And there it was. He wanted to throw the punch, and he paid the price, and now he's got him moving.
Great body shot there by Alakel. And you can see they threw away 2 punches just to really put some power behind that left hook to the body. That's what I mean by alternating your power. You know, you got to lie to your opponent. You got to touch, pop them hard. You know, you can't always pop every single punch hard because your opponent's just going to get accustomed to power. You fool them into that power shot.
And you see how confident Alakel looks. 7 pro fights, but all the fights except for the last one were 6-rounders. In September,
nice right hand, and Lee might be ready to go down.
Oh, and Lee coming back with the counter left hook. He's not ready to go nowhere yet.
The referee was getting close.
Yeah, he was. I like seeing that. Okay, now we got Lee. Lee has a little fight left right there. He put some power behind that left hook, trying to catch Alakel come off guard, but Alakel was responsible with that right hand up, blocking his chin.
And an ode to Chris Mannix here, who always says, listen, if you don't have that one-punch power, you get a fighter against the ropes, just keep throwing a flurry, and the referee might jump in and stop it.
And that's true. He got that from me, by the way. I was like, throw away shots. Make the referee stop the fight.
Nice shot on the temple.
Good shot.
Yeah, his equilibrium seems to be a little bit off, Lee.
Nah, but you know what? You're right, Todd. Right now, considering that we're dealing with a fighter that's faced veterans, he's lost against undefeated fighters, Lee is going to take a good shot, and he's going to know how to respond when he's hurt. So you gotta just keep him rattled with speed and flurries, and that's what Alakel should do now.
Right around the guard with that right hand. A swing and miss from Lee. Boy, he's thrown some wild shots and hasn't come close to landing. Come on. We saw Abdullah Mason just moments ago. Here's the man he'll be competing against. Promoted by Frank Warren at Queensbury, it is Sam Noakes. Mike, what is Sam's path to victory tonight?
He's got to work behind the jab. He has a nice power jab, and he's got to make Mason feel his power. Mason's already been down twice in a fight, and that guy couldn't punch nearly as well as Noakes.
I'll tell you what's going to be, Todd. Body shot. That's a vicious body puncher in Sam Noakes. If you're going to get the attention of the taller, longer southpaw, it's going to be to the body. Keep those guns checked and keep digging to the ribs if you're Sam Noakes.
Is that a little more tape on the knuckles than normal? That would look like 6 inches.
Well, it's not done yet. Usually the tape makes it a lot tighter.
Almost 10 seconds.
Well, you've been asking for an uppercut. He gave you one there.
And you're going to see a lot more of them. That was a great round for Alakel. He's finding ways to penetrate the guard of Lee.
But anyway, this is a 6-rounder. Alakel's last fight was a 10-round fight in his 6th pro fight, and that was on the Canelo Crawford undercard in a stadium. Sergio, that's pretty rare, right? 10-rounder?
Yeah, that's what I mentioned before the fight started, Mike, is the fact that, you know, normally you're fighting 10 rounds by your 10th, 11th, 12th fight. I mean, to have this much confidence to do it, you know, with half a dozen fights, that shows a lot of confidence in your conditioning and the way you're evolving as a pro.
Boy, that jab just keeps finding a home. Right, there it is again. There's not many things more frustrating, I would think, Sergio, than just eating a jab over and over.
And this is the way Julio Porras should have fought. You know, he's a tall fighter, breaking down a shorter fighter with the jab, trying to be creative. You got to fight tall responsibly. You know, because not just because you have the height, you're going to have the advantages. You got to fight tall. You got to know what punches to throw. You got to know how to aggravate and get your shorter opponent to make mistakes.
That power jab we're seeing, right, that's really an Abel Sanchez staple.
The jab period, yeah, alternating the jab, and you're right. every fighter's gonna, every trainer's gonna train their fighter to concentrate on the jab, but alternating the jab, throwing different jabs. You know, how to penetrate that high guard. You throw it with the jab, you know, with your finger facing up to the sky. You throw it with the finger, with your thumb facing down to the canvas. That's how you penetrate that tight guard.
Alakel, like he has since round one, the forward pressure fighter. Hasn't really taken a step back. Lee continuously backpedaling up against the ropes in the corner.
And he has taken a step back to counter nicely. Just like that. Half an inch back, came back with a straight right hand. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm impressed with Mohammed Alakel. I really am.
Would you like to see him, though, do more when he's got Lee backed against the ropes?
No, you're dealing with a fighter that's pretty experienced fighting unbeaten opponents in Jiaming Lee. So, no, I think this is how you break down guys like this that are accustomed to fighting better fighters. Be patient, be disciplined, and bust them up behind that long jab.
Oh, these people are gonna go to sleep waiting for you to punch. These people are gonna go to sleep, they're bored. You're not doing nothing, right? You're winning the fight easy, but why aren't you working? Come on. 3 minutes is not such a long time. It's only 6 rounds. Come on, man. What are you waiting for? Can I ask that? What are you waiting for? Nothing. Okay, then let's get it done. Come on. I'm not asking for a knockout, I'm asking for work. The knockout will come. But you can't just depend on one shot like you're trying to do right now. You gotta throw punches. You've got great combinations. Why aren't you using them? What are you waiting for? You're sitting there watching, looking at it. Look at this, step to him, make him throw. Come on.
Do more than just win, you gotta win impressively.
You heard that say, you got to win impressively. Sergio, you said, nah, he's doing fine against the ropes. Abel Sanchez saying, go and get him.
I'm surprised. He said, I'm not looking for a knockout. I'm looking for combinations. Let your hands go.
2 rounds left.
A lot of confidence and urging his fighter to go looking for the knockout. Go looking to hurt Jiaming Lee.
Well, look, you got your hometown crowd here, sold out. You're clearly levels better than this guy.
There's that uppercut.
Take some chances.
I can see what Abel Sanchez is saying because Alakel is landing single clean shots, but he's not throwing the combinations when he does land. So I get what Abel Sanchez is saying. A victory is not enough.
One more fight here on our preliminary card, and then it's the main event, 4 world title fights. Up next, Vito Milnik Jr. and Samuel Momoa. Nigerian who lives in Italy, facing off against New Jersey's Vito. There's a right hand from Mohammed. Crowd saying, all right, go get him. You heard him.
If Lee wasn't coming off a knockout loss, I would say maybe be happy with what you're doing with the victory, controlling every round. But since he is coming off that knockout loss in the 4th round, I agree with Abel Sanchez. Pick it up, put it into another gear. You're dominating this fight. You're landing some clean shots, but one is not enough. Lee is accustomed to getting hit with one clean shot. There you go. Let your hands go there. Why back up? There you go. See, that's what I am seeing what Abel Sanchez is seeing now.
They were yelling at him in the corner, go, go, go.
We talked about it this week, right? When you're a prospect trying to make a statement, you need to score knockouts.
Right there, see, let your hands go. He landed 3 hard shots and he stepped back and waited for a counter. It's responsible, but by this time, come on now, you gotta let your hands go. Lee is in survival mode, so he's just keeping those the earmuffs up. He'll throw one shot to Alakel 6 or 7.
start from Alakel.
And another single shot by Alakel. Right there, let him go. Let your hands go. This is...
Might have been a good opportunity to throw that uppercut.
Yeah, that's the uppercut I see an opening for on Lee.
And a locking strike with a right hand.
Lee took that well. He bounced back nicely.
Wow, that was quick. And Alakel gets a knockdown right at the end of the 5th round.
Stepping back, Alakel looking for that shot, and it was a counter right hook. Very nicely timed. Look at how he times it, stepping back just enough. Catching Lee coming in. That shot should have hurt Lee a lot more than it did. I'm surprised he got up that fast. He met the counter right in the middle. Puncher or not, when you get hit like that cleanly, you usually get hurt.
You push him.
What are you getting off of him for? Stay on his ass. Can you go 3 minutes throwing punches, can't you? Yeah. I know you can. So what are you waiting for?
I don't want to get caught. Let's go.
Fuck that. Throw punches.
We are just minutes away from our main card starting here on DAZN.com/boxing. Order it now. The Ring 4 Night of Champions. Can Alakel pick up his 2nd knockout in his 7th pro bout? He just dropped Lee at the end of the 5th.
Well, if he wants this knockout, he has to start this 6th round fast. Because once he starts getting to the last minute, adrenaline's going to kick in on Lee, and maybe he could just survive and move. So remind him of that knockdown and get on him quickly right there. Let your hands go if you're looking for that stoppage.
Yeah, you'd like to see a combination. The 1-2's nice, but how about a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2?
There, right there. Let your hands go right there. See, the thing about Alakel, I like the fact that he's responsible defensively. He takes a step back every time he throws 2 or 3 shots. But with a fighter like Lee, you don't need to step back every single combination. Let your hands flow and go.
Yeah, be the bully here. As for Lee, he's like, hey, take your time. Don't push me. We only got 2 minutes left.
I still would like to see uppercut from both hands. You know, break the distance and then left and right uppercuts, trying to break the guard of Lee.
Boy, he's got a good-looking jab, that's for sure. Minute and a half to go here in the 6th and final round. Yeah, Lee really just trying to keep him away with these punches. I think he knows he's not even going to land them. Just doesn't want to get stopped.
Don't wait,
Look, I'm impressed with Mohammed Alakel. I'm impressed with the thing I'm seeing, the evolution of Alakel. But there comes a time where you do want to see a killer instinct in fighters. You know, you want to see that they have another gear. Like right here, there's what you put into another gear. Let him go.
And now Lee might be ready to go.
This is what we want to see of Alakel. The uppercut, put it into another gear. Look for the knockout. Be more spiteful with those punches.
And now go to the body, right?
Everywhere. Look, let him go right there. Rip the body shot, both sides. Get an angle. Now I could see the frustration in Abel Sanchez. I mean, this is a one-sided, really good performance, but this is a fighter in Lee that could be stopped.
He's got to get meaner, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And you can't teach that. You can't teach meanness. You can't teach that killer instinct. It has to be innate.
There's a right hand again, and now he's going to let his hands go.
And now Lee's letting his hands go.
Lee heard that 10-second clapper. And Mohammed Alakel looks really good, but doesn't get the knockout his corner thought he could get.
Look, man, we're being critical, but that was still a one-sided really good performance. He didn't get the knockout, but Muhammad Alakel deserves a lot of credit for boxing beautifully, doing some good stuff, throwing every punch in the book. Still a successful victory for Alakel.
Well, it's Ring 4 Night of Champions comes to a crescendo with an intriguing main event. David Benavidez, Anthony Yarde head-to-head for the WBC World Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Buy it now, DAZN.com/boxing. And the main man is here, Mike.
Yes, there he is. And of course, like you said, he's trying to crown a champion, build a champion from Saudi Arabia. Muhammad Alakel and Sultan Alhomammed, two passion projects.
Turki Al-Sheikh will be sitting ringside, a passionate and massive boxing fan.
Yeah, massive boxing fan. And you see Dr. Rakan from Sela next to him, another key figure.
And boxing fans are becoming a fan out of that man right there. His Excellency for giving boxing fans what they've needed for a long time, the best fighting the best, incredible cards, and how can you not be a fight fan right now?
Like he's ready to fight, making his ring walk. He has single-handedly turned this city and this nation into a boxing hotbed. The biggest fights on the planet now take place here in Riyadh. You know, Mike, boxing needed somebody somewhere to do what he's doing.
Yeah, there were just so many fights that were not happening with the fractured nature of the sport. Fury Usyk was in talks for years, didn't happen until he came around. Dmitry Bivol and Beterbiev, so.
Indeed, and right now we're going to get the official decision between Muhammad Alakel, Jiaming Lee.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and all 3 judges, Nawaf Alhomammed, Leszek Jankowiak, and Mike Fitzgerald, are in agreement. They all scored the same, 60-53, for your winner by unanimous decision. From Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, mighty Mohammed Alakel.
All smiles here in Riyadh as Muhammad Alakel improves to 7-0. Sergio, what would you be working on with him in the gym?
More uppercuts, left and right uppercuts, and flurries. You know, you're landing clean shots, but let your hands go. Focus on speed, combinations, and continue listening to your coach, Abel Sanchez. You have a great boxing mind in your corner. You just got to have more confidence is what he's telling you, but let your hands go when you're in control.
Well, that wraps our first 4 fights of the night. We still have 5 more to come, including 4 world title bouts. But right now, as we look at the ring walk times, Mason and Noakes, 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's 2 a.m. here local, and the main event will walk at 9 p.m. Eastern, Benavidez and Yarde.
Okay, everybody, well, coming up after the break, Ring 4 Night of the Champions gets serious with a middleweight showdown between White Magic Vito Milnicki Jr. and undefeated Nigerian Samuel Nmoma. To our viewers, by the way, who are watching free to air, this is where our broadcast ends for you. If you have already bought the main card, then you don't need to do anything. If you haven't bought it yet, then the only way to watch Ring 4 Night of the Champions is to buy this event at DAZN.com/boxing. This is one of the best fight cards of the year, if not the best, and it's one that you certainly do not want to miss.
Live, only on DAZN, November 22nd. The Ring 4. In boxing, gold is everything. And on this night, every fight feels like a main event. David Benavidez, the undefeated Mexican monster, defends against Anthony Yarde, London's heavy hitter. A warrior who's gone toe-to-toe with the best and has the power to end anyone's night early. But the action doesn't stop there. Devin Haney, a 2-weight undisputed king, chases history in yet another division versus Brian Norman Jr., the undefeated champ. while Bam looks to unify more of his division if he can break Fernando Martinez. Plus, Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes clash at lightweight for the WBO title. This is more than a fight night. It's 4 world titles in 4 different divisions. It's the night of the champions. The Ring 4